Yes. We all ready? Yeah. Thank you all for coming. Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. And please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, Superintendent Robert Freeman.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to welcome everybody for coming tonight. It's always a best part of our board meetings when we get to celebrate our tremendous youth in our program. And special thank you for coming in on this gorgeous day. I don't know, that'd have been a toss-up, stay in the sunshine or come to a board meeting, but you chose to join us, and so thank you very much. Board Chair, there are no changes to the agenda.
Thank you. Okay, I think we're going to start with the elementary student report from Austin and Olivia.
Competed to earn points. Everyone was able to participate simply by coming to school each day. In addition to coming to school, students who participated in our dress up competition were able to earn additional points for their house. There were trivia games and additional opportunities for students to compete with their house. Tomorrow, we will reveal who was the winner of our dress up competition and which house earned the most points throughout the week. Speaking of attendance, we recognize students and staff every month who are on track to meet our school-wide attendance goal of attending 90% or more of the school year. All students and staff who are on track are placed in a drawing for an opportunity to spin for our house wheel to earn points for their house. They also have to earn a popcorn party for their classroom. In addition, we recognize the classroom that has the highest daily average attendance for the month. These students earn a pizza party with Mrs. Beard. Last month, Mrs. Welker's class received the party with a daily attendance average of 95.7%. At the end of first semester, 73% of our students were on track to meet our goal. This is up to 7% from last year at the same time. We celebrated the 99th day of school today with our kindergarten friends dressing up as grandmas and grandpas. The celebration brought grade levels together as they collaborated on buddy reading and chair aerobics. We had the cutest senior citizens at GES today. They will celebrate being a Bobcat for 100 days tomorrow. It is so great to see how much they've grown. Sports update. Spring sports kicked off this week with over 200 students participating. Glide Junior Cheer competed at the state level with the following results. The Minis placed second out of 9 teams. The Minis team includes Lindsay Sprague, Charlotte Johnson, Rowan Rutledge, Paxton Fisher, Amaya Renee, Josie Deeks. The youth placed first out of 19. Members of the youth team include Catherine Towns, Addison Olson, Daphne Strain, Carmen Whitward, Riley Rutledge, Aubrey Roderick, Callie Alvarez, Ivory Barrows, Elena Barron, and Annabella Racine, Paisley Fisher, Audrey Deets. The junior team placed fifth out of 14 teams. Kinsey Wise, Aubrey Rose, and Paige Deets. Thank you to Mr. Smith and Mr. Dwight for recognizing our 6th grade athletes who competed on the middle school wrestling team during last week's PEP assembly. We were able to take all of the 6th graders up to cheer their classmates on. This is a great opportunity for our 6th graders to have a little glimpse at the middle school. Congrats to Maverick Gomes and Grayson Maddox for placing first at district. Grayson went on to place third at regionals, qualifying him for the middle school state. He represented GES well. Beyond sports, we have several students from the elementary that have participated in the winter term of the Barefoot Dance Company. These dancers will showcase their talents tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. in the Glide Loop Gym. Finally, thank you for everyone who supported our 5th and 6th grade auction. We live in such a generous, supportive community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for that. And now we're going to have the middle school report from Audrey Odell.
GMS has had a great winter season with 52 students participating in a sport. 4 of our wrestlers qualified for state championships, where Jackson Barron took second and Layla Andrews took first. After a fantastic winter season, GMS Athletics is taking a short break to gear up for track and field. Practice will start Monday, March 30th, and there are already 35 athletes signed up to participate. They will kick off the season with a home meet on Tuesday, April 7th. The winter season is barely behind us and the spring season is underway for Glide High School athletes. The basketball teams had a year of rebuilding, but the biggest growth was shown in our wrestling teams, especially for the girls. We had 6 athletes on our GHS girls wrestling team, by far the most we've had in recent years. The boys wrestling team had a strong season, sending 6 to state championships and coming home with a 5th place by Quinn DeVoe, a 2nd place by Zach Starr, and a championship win for Elijah Hatfield, who went undefeated his senior season. The 7 OSET athletes are having a great season and are on track to have several state qualifiers. Contests kicked off on Monday for both the JV and varsity baseball teams, on Tuesday for the varsity softball team, and today for the track and field team. Softball had a strong 18-athlete team and is looking forward to some great competitions. But baseball is fielding 25 athletes between the 2 teams, and with only 4 seniors, is a building program that will be tough competitions for years to come. The track and field team are growing in leaps and bounds with an astounding 67 athletes out this year. We will be hosting the Maynard Mai Invitational on Saturday, April 25th, and hope to see everybody there. Update on the Nature Trail and Athletic Complex project. We just met with several people from the University of Oregon yesterday and are coordinating signage for both projects. 100 yards of cedar wood chips from Magnolia Farms were delivered today, and 80 yards of rock will be delivered from Umpqua Sand and Gravel on Thursday. The next workday for both projects will be on April 17th. Both student groups working and volunteers will be attending, and we'll hope to wrap up the projects on the 17th. To date, both work parties have done an amazing job of clearing all the blackberries, poison oak, and trees and brush from the nature trail. It looks amazing after it's been all cleared out, and numerous trees and plants have been replanted. Volunteers have helped clear out 2 different ponds as well. And students have built numerous bird, bat, and ducks boxes from ODF&W. Leadership has been busy planning for spring events such as prom and multiple assemblies. We are hard at work planning a linen drive for the nonprofit Sleep in Heavenly Peace in partnership with Mr. Kircher's woodshop class. Woodshop will be building beds next month for the youth in need, and leadership will organize and execute bedding donations. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, and now we're going to have the high school report from Clara and Aubrey. Oh, sorry. Right. I guess she did say high school stuff, didn't she? Okay, my bad. Sorry. Okay. I think we're going to talk about staff recognition.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity, right in between recognizing all the great things that are going on in our schools, and then right before recognizing our CATS, our Students of the Month, to recognize one of our awesome teachers. We have a great instructional staff, not only our teachers, but our instructional assistants also. It gives me great pleasure to honor one of our teachers who received the Teacher of the Month award. If you listen to the radio, you've probably heard her name on there, but I just wanted to bring her name forward. Unfortunately, she's helping a family member who's going through some medical issues, so she wasn't able to attend. But still, I didn't want to pass up this opportunity just to give a shout out to Jane Barrow, our special education teacher at the elementary school. Jane took over for Sherry Mooney, and Sherry was amazing working with some of our highest needs kids in this district. That position is super hard to fill, and the Glide School District was very fortunate that Jane wanted to come to our district. And she has not only kept that program where Sherry left it, but she's excelled it. And so just super proud of her for joining our team and what she gives to our special needs students. And not just, you could probably ask Principal Beard, it's not just our special ed students. She helps the entire school. So just an honor to recognize her along with all of our other great teachers.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, I think it's time for Cats Awards.
Cats, character, achievement, teamwork, success. Character, show respect, responsibility, and integrity in all settings. Achievement, strive for excellence in academics and personal growth. Teamwork, work together with peers, teachers, and community for shared goals. Success, build habits to lead to lifelong learning and achievement. Okay. 12th grade, Douglas Shepard. Douglas is an Douglas is an excellent student and joy to have in any educational setting. He's eager to be involved in his classroom community and always does a great job of contributing his best work. Douglas comes to school every single day with a ready-to-learn attitude. He is someone that staff can depend on to contribute to a positive learning environment. Dylan Ackerman. Dylan works hard in class, has a positive attitude, and leads others while working on challenging projects in the woods and welding. 10th grade, Miley West. Miley is an extremely creative student. The energy she brings to the classroom is captivating. She is the type of student who uplifts in the learning environment and everyone around her. When Miley is not working hard on classwork, you can almost always find her drawing of some of the most amazing cartoons or pictures you've ever seen. She is an amazing student and an even better person, and we are so excited to watch her continue to grow throughout the rest of her high school career. 9th grade, Harmony Care. Harmony may be quiet, but her actions speak volumes. She is consistently demonstrating kindness, a strong work ethic, and a thoughtful approach to every task she completes. Her calm demeanor should never be mistaken for her lack of ability. In fact, she approaches challenges with remarkable poise and determination. She's a talented, dependable, and hardworking student who always quietly excels in the classroom every day. 8th grade, Jackson Barron. Jackson has shown impressive growth and maturity both academically and personally. His attendance has improved significantly, showing a stronger commitment to being present and engaged in class every day. Along with better attendance, his grades have steadily improved as he puts more effort into his work and takes greater responsibility for his learning. In addition to his academic progress, he continues to excel in wrestling, demonstrating dedication, discipline, and strong skills. Overall, Jackson has made a meaningful progress and should be proud of the effort he puts into becoming a more responsible, well-rounded young man. 7th, Harper Thomas. Harper is the kind of student who makes the classroom feel brighter. She is incredibly creative and is consistently making bright, colorful, imaginative projects. As it happens, they are also a great reflection of who she is as a person. Harper is helpful, cheerful, kind, and patient. She's an experiment play student in person. Wade Fields. Wade exhibits excellent behavior and dedication to his work. Wade is always kind to his peers and extremely respectful to teachers and staff. Wade is a great example to his peers and always strives to do his best. Addison Olson. Addison is the perfect role model. She is kind to everyone, always on task, and a quick learner. Her creativity and artistic flair add so much to our classroom. Ava McCauley. Ava is very deserving of this month's Cats Award, as she sets a wonderful example through her kindness, positive attitude, and respect for everyone, handling challenges with grace and maturity. Academically, she holds herself to high standards, consistently completes her homework, often extends her learning beyond requirements, and has shown impressive growth in language arts this year. Ava contributes essential qualities to her classroom community, making it a more positive and supportive place for everyone. Alexandria Clement. Allie is a joy to have in class. She is a happy student whose positive energy is contagious. I can always count on Allie to be a kind friend, a productive partner, and an eager participant. She is a kind student. She is the kind of student that every teacher dreams of because she is motivated to learn and she takes on challenges with grace and persistence. I'm so proud of all that she has accomplished this year, and I look forward to celebrating her future success. Keep it up, Allie. Michaela Helliwell. Michaela is a model student who embodies the qualities of respect, diligence, and integrity. She takes responsibilities for her learning, completes assignments thoughtfully, and conducts herself with maturity and kindness towards others. Her dependable nature and honest approach to her work has set a positive example for the entire class. She's a true cat with joy, Miss Berlin. Briley Philpott. Briley has shown responsibility, kindness, caring, and a hard work ethic all year long. Briley is a great friend to anyone and a great problem solver. She is the leader in the classroom, both academically and behaviorally. She is always a student I can count on. Edmilso Geronimo Martin. He is known for his high scholarly ambition and works hard to do his best every day. His strong focus in class makes him a strong leader and sets positive examples in class. But don't let his serious demeanor fool you. He brings joy and great sense of humor to the class as well. Done. Oh, yeah. Laura. Amazing. So I gave them my notes, so the official board notes, so you're on my. It's just not organized so nicely like this. Know what happened now. Nora is a truly wonderful student who brings kindness and positivity to our classroom every day. She is always helpful, caring, and willing to lend a hand to others. Nora works hard, stays on task, and always tries her best. She participates, listens well, and shows a love for learning. What makes Nora extra special is her warm heart and bright smile. She treats others with kindness and is a great example of what it means to be a respectful and responsible student. Nora comes to school each day ready to learn and makes her place so much better. Okay.
Like I always say, if I'm running, all day. You don't need, I'm doing. Are you talking about, yeah, thanks. I was like, starts with a K. Okay. Okay, so she has. I know, but OMG. My gosh, I feel terrible. Hello. I feel like we should do something extra or something. I feel terrible. Okay, good. And then please let her all know that we think she's amazing and feel terrible about how that played out. That's awesome. Oh. Okay. Right. Learning some life. Okay. All right. So I think that to my knowledge, we don't have any um public participation yellow card things. Okay. So we will move on to action items and I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, any discussion about that or anybody have anything to say or ask or?
It's the minutes, the financial report, request to apply for fundraisers and public gift to the school.
Thank you. All right. All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Thank goodness, because we have 2 people. Okay. Robert.
Yeah, so I just want to do a real quick debrief of our long range facility planning meeting we had with the community last Wednesday. I thought it was a huge success. Thank you to you guys that made it and participated. I think that was probably the number one positive thing I heard out of that meeting is how much they appreciated board members being there and being engaged in that process. We personally called. We didn't talk to everyone. We left messages on some machines, but most people we actually made contact with to personally invite them to that meeting. We called over 100 people. I think it was right around 111, 115, and about 60 showed up, which I was happy with that. Just so you guys are aware, we made a list of people who we knew were supporters of the school district, those that maybe have questioned things in the past, community members, business owners. I tried to get as broad as a group as I could. I think the worst thing that we could do is talk to the people who we know are supporters of the school district. I think it's really important to hear all voices and understand what hurdles we have on passing a potential bond. I didn't I didn't get back as much feedback as I was kind of hoping for, but most of the feedback was really positive. So I think the positive twist on the lack of feedback is that I think people were pretty satisfied with the information they were given, the process that we're going to put forward uh, to ensure honest, transparent information, and that we're going to continue to engage the community in the process. I do have hard copies of the responses if you do want to look at them. But some really good follow-up questions from people that I think deserve some discussion in the future. So I'll just end there. And if you have any follow-up to that.
What was, did we, I don't remember if we made another meeting or any,
No, I didn't on purpose because at that point we hadn't engaged in a professional bond counsel organization. I have that as part of my report. We have now. We've hired Kyle Lair with Assist to be our legal bond consultant. I met with him for an hour today,
Oh.
and we have regular meetings scheduled. Right now, the preliminary meetings are just gathering information, so I didn't feel like not that it wouldn't be valuable because it's always valuable when you participate, but I felt like our first couple meetings, he's just getting information about the district. But once we start getting into the teeth of stuff, I would definitely like to invite our people to come and be part of that. He's very excited. He's actually deep into a bond campaign for the Cascade School District right now. So if you want to see some of the work that he's going to propose that we do in Glide, just Google Cascade School District and you'll see their bond website and some of the things that he's going to propose that we do in our district. He's super excited about the fact that we're doing a leveling bond versus asking for the full amount. He does have some pretty strong opinions on the 91 versus the 108, and we can get into all that stuff later. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the timeline? Like, I know, just literally, it's not like just
Yeah.
that, but
Just today.
yeah.
So I'm scheduled every Wednesday with him.
Okay.
I asked him if we could not do next Wednesday because it's spring break and I was hoping to take some
Right.
time off, and he agreed that I should probably take some time off. So we are going to skip next Wednesday, but the Wednesday following, every Wednesday, we have a standing meeting. On this side of things, the meetings will probably be longer in length, but by August, we'll have a resolution prepared to put in front of the board. Once that goes out and some other things kick in, then those meetings will get smaller and smaller as we work closer to that November election. It really helped me today to feel even more confident with he and his company. He talked about several indicators that he assured me that he would be honest with us, that if he felt like things weren't going the right direction for a November election, he'll tell us, and that will extend us out and give us more time to prepare for the May election. If he feels like things are trending the right direction and we're ready to go for that November election, then he'll tell us that too. He's super nervous about what's going on in the world right now. He's nervous about that, even with the May election coming up. So lots could happen between now and November. But I love that he has the foresight and he's thinking that way already. He showed me his Google Doc that has, I don't know, probably this long of templates in there of what he and his company are going to do for us to help us have a successful campaign. Yeah, but I'm very happy with what he's able to show us that he's going to do for us. The one consultant we talked to said she was going to do lots of
Right.
stuff, but there was no meat to it.
Yeah.
He's showing me everything and he's got examples from other school districts that are doing those things.
So I guess just in terms of like for the board, is it possible,
Mhm.
what, in terms of like coming and presenting so that we would know that?
Yeah, say that again. I'm sorry.
So presenting to us so that we know what you know, what those steps are, what the timeline is.
Yeah, I think that should be part of our process, that from now on, every board meeting, we have an update on that process. He's really adamant about not calling it a bond campaign yet, because we're still in the early stages. And right now we're trying to develop projects. And so he's going to work really close with John Stapleton, who's our architect with Quest. Nope, I always say Quest with Pivot. I don't know why I've attached him to that Quest, but he is not Quest. He is Pivot. And by the end of spring, we should have a pretty narrow list of what projects we are going to be able to afford and put forth. And then we need to then start creating the message around that.
So I will share a couple of things. So one, I thought it was really positive because oh,
Turn the microphone.
Tammy and I were sitting on the outside, on the outskirts, because I was late because I had another commitment. And a couple folks just basically stopped by and told Tammy and I, we're good, but we just wanted to hear what the plan, you know, that there is a plan and, you know, that this is what they're looking at. So they left, which I thought was positive. And I also heard, though, a lot of conversation around, you know, what it is that we were going after, looking at, and I'll just say from my own personal experience, and Shelby, weird. We had a lot of conversation around that. Architects have one vision, and the reality of what that is, I think we need to look at. So we talked about, like, you know, in Winston School District, like the architects have lovely visions, and then the reality of like how much that tile costs is really super important. And having a son that's a civil engineer, architects have one vision, the reality of what that is going to take. So that was very much the recommendation that came from our table, even though we didn't write it down. We were in agreement. And I think that Shelby had some really great ideas and lessons learned from Winston School District. So I think there's some also things that we could look at in that planning process.
I think that's great advice.
Yeah, because I think we could go into it with an architect's vision that may not align with like what is going to be like durable, what is going to be you know, sound for the long term. And so that was just something that was my takeaway from that.
I was just going to say, and it kind of circles back to John's question. I had somebody reach out to me who wasn't able to attend the meeting, and someone who's pretty invested and been in this community for forever, also invested in education, worked in the education K through 12 for some ridiculous amount of years, I think just retired. That they would love to come back to our second meeting, kind of assuming that there was going to be one. And I think after looking at, so I know we didn't get back like a lot of actual written responses, but even just looking at that and hearing some things, people came up and said things to me afterwards, right? That also was concerning. So some of those voices aren't being, I don't think they're brave enough to write it down yet to like say and have it, right? So I guess wanting to know in the timeline of all that, where do we and when do we circle back with the community to respond to some of these things and get a little bit more in the weeds about realities of stuff?
Yeah, so we'll develop a timeline. We'll get that to you. Let me give you a little bit more information too. So my leadership team, well, not the full team, but Carrie and Tammy and Carolyn and I have done some visits. We went down to South Umpqua to look at that athletic structure. We did go to Winston Dillard and look at their new projects that Shelby was talking about, and he did bring up those exact same things. We're planning on going to Oakland and to Elkton. Both districts recently had new gyms that were built. Oakland is just a standalone gym. Elkton is a gym that actually has attached classrooms, so we want to get our eyes on that. I have met with two previous board members this week, actually, just to get their feedback from how they felt things went that night, and if they had any other thoughts or ideas. They felt very comfortable with me kind of talking about some of the things I said and the way I said it and the way it was perceived. And I didn't mean it that way, so it's actually given me some time to think about how I would say that differently. So an example is when I talk about Glide becoming a destination,
Yes.
people in Glide here that I'm promoting that we start populating Glide, that people come here and live and we have businesses. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about athletically, we hold an event to where we have a wrestling tournament or a basketball tournament where sports teams come here to participate and then they leave and go home instead of us always having to go everywhere else. That's what I mean about a destination. The other one today was really good because apparently the table this lady was at, they took when I talked about visiting teams not having facilities at the athletic complex, as that was my reason for doing upgrades at the athletic field. And that's an outcome. It's a benefit of doing that, but that's not the
Right.
reason we would want to do that. So feedback like that is super important because if I don't know those things, I can't change how I say things and present stuff.
Yeah. And that was my concern, all those things that you just said right there.
Yeah.
Folks who don't come back and tell you that
Yes.
that's how they interpret it, and how long are we letting that sort of bubble in the community with people thinking how they interpret it, and sharing that with others, because we know that happens.
The one thing that keeps coming up that I do need to start incorporating into my talks is the arena. One of the persons, actually the one today, she is super against the arena, doesn't understand why the district would even do something like that. After I explained to her how the arena is going to be an extension of the classroom and all these opportunities for our kids, and not only our kids, but our community, and how we've already had several organizations reach out to us and want to use our arena. It's not even up yet. She was like, "Oh my God, I had no idea." And so now she understands why we're doing that. So yeah, I need help from everyone if I'm missing something like let's address the arena because right now it's a negative thing out in the community. Then I need to do that. I need to say the why. People could still say, we made a horrible decision with that, but I'm hoping that we prove them wrong once it's up and they see what it does to our school district and to our community. But in the interim, I need to at least give the why so people can say, oh, okay. And 100% people I've talked to that were negative about the arena, when I tell them all the different ways that it's going to benefit kids and be an extension of several of our programs that we have, they're like, oh, I had no idea. That sounds great.
Yeah.
So
I think the other thing that I heard, let's just say from a board member's, daughter is very loud and clear. And actually, I left that night going, one, I haven't talked to Shelby in a long time, and that was great. So, it was that sense of community. And I know, Robert, you were trying to kick everybody out. And I just felt like it was a connection point for a lot of people in the community to come together and also just like talk. And so that was really positive in terms of the energy and the enthusiasm and wanting to see something happen for kids. I think my other suggestion is that we also need to frame it not just for athletics, but those kids that aren't in athletics, like for drama. So we haven't talked at all about, the middle school, space and the kids that aren't involved in sports. And so thinking about incorporating that in terms of like, when we're talking about a gym is not just for athletics.
absolutely not.
It is an all-purpose facility. And so, let's just say
It's an instructional
individual with a lot of opinions said, start talking about it as an all-purpose. Because once that got connected, it was like, oh, I can see that. And so I think those are going to be just like clarity points. And so I think that though it's nuanced, but each person is going to take that frame of their experience and what they're thinking we're talking about. So
yeah. And like you were saying, Robert, highlighting how it benefits the kids. Because I've actually heard from somebody who said somebody else they know absolutely is against it because they don't see how it's going to benefit the kids. which is amazing to me because, but so,
Every day it'll benefit kids.
right,
All of those projects
Yeah,
directly benefit kids.
absolutely. So,
Yes.
absolutely.
So yes, so that's great feedback. So I need to tie that in. So not only just say, we're looking at adding a middle school wing that would look something like this, but this is how it's going to benefit kids when they attend. Yeah, I love it.
Awesome.
Roger and I did talk about like the visiting football teams having to gather up outside, and we did think maybe the only better thing we could do is turn the sprinklers on.
That's what I thought you were going to say. We should get a pop-up tin out there or something for them. Well, if we're
But no,
winning,
actually,
don't turn the sprinklers.
Right, right.
I get a lot of feedback. It's like, how can it cost this much money? I mean,
Yeah.
some of us do a lot of this kind of, not build schools, but we build things or houses and it's like, this amount of money is absolutely ridiculous that we have to spend to build a school. And, I don't know if it's just the way that but it's ridiculous to me that we have to spend 3 times the amount of money that it would cost me to build a school on my own private property of the identical.
Well, let me share a little story. So, that's because of prevailing wage and
Yeah.
we're a public government body, which is, I think, horrible that they punish people
Right.
for that being in that category. Those groups are often the ones that have the least amount of money to
Yep.
spend than the private sector. So South Umpqua got creative and did something that I'm not saying we're going to do. I don't know if I had have the guts to do it, but they got away with it, and kudos to them. To avoid exactly what you're talking about, John, they had a private contractor in town, a huge community supporter, tied in with athletics. He bought and that's what he does for a living, is metal structures. So he bought the metal building. It was delivered on his front yard, sat there for a couple of years till the district could figure out how to pay for it. Then what the district did was deed him a section of the parking lot. So that became his property. So he decided to build a metal structure on his property using his people, his workers.
And that was exactly what we intended to do years ago before the previous bond measure, and that was our exact route.
And then he
And
gave
then
it back
they
to the school district.
Talked us into supporting the bond measure with our money. So, and I don't know.
Is that when Jeff says that the wrestling team bought that property?
What's that?
Is that what Jeff's talking about? My brother Jeff, when he says that wrestling team bought,
We didn't, but we were going to. They had it all lined out.
but that's what he was talking about, was doing that same thing right there.
Yep, that exact same thing. That's what we were
That
going to
would've
buy
been-
the tennis court,
That'd have been pretty clever. Yep.
and that was what our plan was, but it didn't happen. But that's, but just because that we have to do that is shame on the state of
I
Oregon.
totally agree.
Agreed.
Yes.
It is
correct.
absolutely, the state of Oregon is doing this to us to make it so we can't educate our kids reasonably fair is
Yeah.
unbelievable to me.
Yeah. And it hits rural
I was
districts
just going to say that.
so much harder. And
So
that
much.
is the majority of the districts in Oregon are rural.
Yeah, that's
just-
the inequity.
But we could go
Yeah.
on about this all night, but I
You're
do
correct.
think that going into these, like what you said, because that was gonna be my next deal is
Yeah.
what about that? So,
Yeah.
and I'm all for trying it.
Well,
I mean-
and here's what I need from you guys. You guys are obviously, people feel comfortable coming to you. And if they say, Freeman came across this way, what was he thinking on that? I need to hear that, because here's what we have this, I keep talking about this window of opportunity, and we can't miss this opportunity. What I don't want to is get past this opportunity, not pass a bond, and look back on myself and my actions. Like, should I have done something different? Could I have done something different? Because by then it's too late. We've missed that opportunity. I need to know on this end, the front end, so I can change things and give it our best shot. We still may not pass because we can't control things that are happening all around us in the world, but we can control our campaign and what we say and what we do, and include the community and make sure everybody has a voice and all those things that we know are important. And then if whoever's delivering the message, if the perception, if people are receiving it differently, then people need to know that.
It would be great if somehow we could like kind of get some anonymous feedback. So like folks are saying what they really want to say without it being too like out in public, or
Yeah.
that they're at a table with other people and feel like that they get to say whatever they want and ask whatever they want without us knowing, and then we can address all those things if there was a way to get that.
So I talked to Kyle today about polling. I think
Mhm.
I've talked to you guys about polling and
Right.
how ridiculously expensive it is.
I know.
He has so he wants to get a better feel of our
Yeah.
district. He's actually coming. He's got it sketched in for Tuesday the 7th, April 7th. But he wants to get a feel of our district. He has with some rural communities that are tight knit, and you can get pulse on the community done surveys through SurveyMonkey,
Yeah.
where you can set that up to be anonymous.
Yes.
He said the information is not as accurate, and we just need to take it as information.
Mhm.
But he's kicking that around too, doing
I
that for us.
love
That
that
might be
idea.
an idea of doing that.
Love it.
Yeah, and I think including in that also just like a, we don't have to, it's like ask us anything, you know, and so
Yes.
again,
Yeah.
it's the ask the questions, not just the
That open-ended,
survey
yes.
point, but you know, what are you wondering about? What is the thing that you have curiosity about?
Yeah.
And I think again, if you set it up right, then you also have an opportunity to educate as part of it, you know, so you're getting
Totally agree.
information.
Mhm.
And so that's also feeding some of the stuff like Cheetah Point, Tracy, like this is to benefit kids. We have a window of opportunity that's only this big. Here's what we're looking at. You know, you can sketch that all out to start out. And yeah,
I love it.
done a lot.
Yeah.
I do know that it seems like more, you know, I get more like, well, we got, you know, there was very little at the deal about the classrooms for the kids, and there's apparently not enough classrooms down elementary. Yes,
We're using every classroom at the elementary school right
yes,
now.
and
And-
that's more of a concern than anything, is that we gotta have room for our kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
That,
the-
I mean, and
education-
that more so than a gym or a, you know, anything like that. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
well,
Yeah. Isn't that our biggest group of folks is elementary?
Well, there's more students there.
That's what
'cause,
I mean.
Yeah, they have more grade levels.
And
But throughout
probably
the-
we see an influx coming through the years in that. Is what I'm
we
guessing.
used to,
Oh,
not right now.
okay.
We do have a large class coming through the elementary, but generally the classes are around 50 students a class.
50 students a class.
for
A grade.
grade.
Okay. I was like, whoa, we got a problem.
A grade, sorry. Our large class is 72, 75 now. But our enrollment is going the wrong direction, and we are talking about that amongst our leadership team, so.
Is it from, are we losing out of district kids, or are we losing in district kids out of district?
Yeah, so I'm not real prepared to talk about
Oh.
this, but it's, we may have to revisit the policy we just. passed.
Yep.
We're losing a lot of kids to Baker Academy, and the more I'm investigating the why behind it, I'm not sure we have control over that. So we may revisit that policy. I don't have enough data to give
Yeah.
you right now. But that one is alarming, how many
Yeah.
students we have
I'm
leaving. Our transfers, we're still on the positive. We have more kids coming to Glide than leaving our county schools. But it's our virtual charter schools that we're losing a lot of kids.
Okay.
We have a bunch of theories on that, but like I said, I'm not really prepared to
Yeah.
talk about that right now.
Can I, if we are gonna talk about that, I was just thinking that one of the things that we haven't seen in a while that I think, you know, Tammy kind of touched upon it, when we were talking about the elementary school with the classroom that had 97% attendance. It would be great if we could see some of those numbers, as well as like the disciplinary action to that percent. like, are these students that are getting, you know, in a lot of disciplinary actions that are then choosing to be, like, what's the best look like, or was it down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can get all that together. I know of several that where one student in the family would meet that criteria, but families are choosing to pull everybody
Right.
out and then send the whole family.
Huh.
That's something I didn't anticipate.
That's interesting. Okay.
Anything else about our meeting? This is a great discussion. I think, Tracy, with your permission, we just keep the bond path as a regular standing agenda item.
Absolutely.
And then if we have lots to say, we can say a lot. If we don't have much to say, we can just,
Yeah. I
but
think
we
that's
keep it on
super
as a
important.
regular item.
Okay.
All right. And I've already hit number 3 in that discussion. So Kyle is on board and I feel really good about him and his process. And I think you will too, once you see all the system he has laid out for a positive campaign.
Well, when I was on the Zoom with him, it was a lot of information. I was like, whoa.
Night and day from our first
Yeah.
one.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because at some points I even got a little lost, right? And the first one, yeah. So. Okay. Is that kind of,
Honestly, that's my report and
Yeah.
everything, if
Okay.
you're okay with that. So,
Absolutely.
okay.
okay. Carolyn, financial reports.
So the only thing I wanted to share tonight, other than your financial report that you have, is that the legislative short session is complete. And I'm very happy to say that the state school fund is not going to be messed with in this biennium.
In this one.
They're warning us about the next biennium, but I don't like to borrow trouble, and there's
Right.
time left before that happens. So I'm not worried about that. I just really happy to be able to share that the state school fund is staying the same as it was.
And that's right. And I'm gonna borrow that saying, I think. Did you say I'm not gonna borrow trouble? Love it. That's my new thing. Okay. Individual board member reports.
So yeah, a couple of things. I really wanted to also thank you for inviting us. We didn't talk about community school, but that was a really great opportunity. Again, I will say my team that I was with, we did the best we could with the drawing exercise. I'm still like, none of us want to draw. And it was really great to, you know, just talk with the teachers and the aides and get to know, like, they were folks that I don't interact with on a regular basis anymore. And so that was great. So thank you for inviting us. I'm really excited about where that is heading. It sounds like it's a really nice alignment with the things that we've been talking about and incorporate so many of the things that we want to see for our students and the community. So I love that. So thank you for that. Again, I really was excited to see that with the wood shop class and all of the things they're doing about building beds, and how cool is that? Also reflecting on that value about giving back, and really, I think that that is something that those students that are involved in it can say, like, look what I did.
Yeah.
And how amazing is that? And then just really amazing that with Jane and getting the award, like I heard it on the radio, and then I saw a Facebook post, so it was really great to see that. So I just, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, thank you for adding that. That is amazing. And I also I had the opportunity because you had talked about thanking Cow Creek, and so they were one of the like I don't know the exact title anymore. It's changed over time. I had the opportunity this weekend to say thank you for all of the things that, that you all did in terms of contributing to the funding that we received over the holidays and how important that was. And just continue to, say we want to, continue to build that partnership with the tribes. And I had the opportunity to go on a, pretty much almost a whole afternoon, tour of all of the facilities that they have and their clinic and their pharmacy.
nice.
And so I just also think about the ways that we can incorporate that. Definitely indicated that they have a lot of tribal families in this community, which we're very well aware of. And so just also continue to build that partnership and alliance. And I think that was it.
It's awesome. Thank you. John?
Well, I mostly said most of my stuff about the school and how much it costs us to build, and that has been one of the big, people that I talk to. It's like, how can that cost so much money? So,
Yeah.
that's where I think we've got some opportunity. Some guys are checking, elsewhere to see like what they built a brand new high school over in Bend here not too long ago, and it's like, it will absolutely, you can't afford to do that if it's gonna cost that many millions of dollars.
And that's why rural districts have failing facilities
Yes.
and struggle to keep up with long-term
So,
sustainability.
yes, it doesn't make sense that they wanna do that to us, but maybe, I don't think there's anything other than what we talked about that's gonna get us out of it in the short term, but maybe long term, some strive for, but we'll see. Don't know, but that's about it, I guess.
Okay.
We're gonna have an executive meeting.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I also thought that, the event with the, that I went to the other day, the community, right? What was it called again? Community school, sorry. Super fun. Yep, no one at our table also wanted to draw, finally had a volunteer, but just a really good, time to interact and hear feedback and, find out just even like personal things, right? Like folks got to say like what helped them get to where they are now. And so it was really, meaningful, I think, to do that. And I love this whole concept of taking like our strategic plan and putting it into like a small little succinct sound bites, really, right? So that folks remember it and it speaks to the heart of who we are. And I am so looking forward to continuing that process. And I also just want to say on what Tammy just said, it's a nice reminder that one person can make such a huge difference in people's lives, and that person can go on to make a difference in other people's lives. The ripple effect is really important. And to throw out some cliches, not all superheroes wear a cape, and anyone can wear the mask of a superhero. And I encourage everyone to do so. So thank you all for coming and sitting here with us. And if anybody doesn't have anything else to say, I think we're going to go ahead and adjourn this meeting. Yeah. Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you so much. And then we're going to do an executive session. Okay. Great. Me too. Am I ready to go? We're back online. Oh. Okay. I'm going to call this meeting back to order in regular session and just want to say that we are continuing with the process of superintendent evaluation as per our agreed upon schedule that was set forth a long time ago. So we just do these periodic executive sessions to dialogue about how things are going. So thank you to anybody who stuck around, and we are done. I'm going to adjourn this meeting. Thank you.